The objective of this lesson is to model and evaluate equations where a whole number is multiplied by a unit fraction. Let's review some vocabulary. Multiplier. The multiplier represents the number of groups or the number of times a factor is being multiplied. Multiplicand. The multiplicand represents the size of the group or the number being multiplied. Although knowing the vocabulary for multiplier and multiplicand helps us understand how the factors work, students do not need to memorize these terms. In the equation 3 times 30, 3 is the multiplier, the number used to multiply the given quantity. 30 is the multiplicand, the quantity to be multiplied. The product is the answer when the two factors are multiplied together. When reasoning about fraction multiplication, it is important to identify what is being iterated or partitioned and what is referenced as 1. Consider the following situation. You and 3 friends are having sandwiches. The sandwiches are large, and each person just needs 1/2. How many sandwiches should be made so there are no leftovers? This problem can be modeled by drawing 2 rectangles that are each partitioned into 2 parts. Each part represents 1/2 of a sandwich. Each person's portion is labeled with a number. 2 sandwiches would be needed to yield 4 1/2 size pieces. The equation used to represent this model is 4 times 1/2 equals 2. The equation represents 4 sets of 1/2, and since 1/2 is less than 1, 4 of them will be less than 4. When the multiplicand is less than 1, the product will be less than the multiplier. 4 of the 1/2 sandwiches equals 2 sandwiches. Here is another situation where a whole number is multiplied by a unit fraction. Celeste scored half of her lacrosse team's 4 goals during the first half of the game. How many goals did she score? An equation for this model is written as 1/2 times 4. This means that the product can be found by taking 1/2 of 4. This problem could be represented by drawing a model showing 4 squares. Each square represents 1 goal. The set of 4 goals was partitioned into 2 groups because the problem is asking us to find 1/2 of the set. Each set contains 2 goals. The product is smaller than the multiplier because we want to find out 1/2 of 4 goals, which is equal to 2 goals. Another way to model this problem would be to divide 4 rectangles in half. 2 shaded halves would equal 1 goal. To help clarify understanding, students could be asked the following questions. I am finding how many of what? In this case, I am finding 1/2 of 4. 4 what? In this case, 4 goals. What is referenced as 1? 1 goal is being referenced as 1. In the first problem, students were asked to find the total number of sandwiches when 4 halves were needed. In the second problem, students were asked to find 1/2 of a whole set. In both situations, the product was smaller than the multiplicand or the multiplier. The objective for this lesson was to model and evaluate equations where a whole number is multiplied by a unit fraction. We met this objective by drawing models and writing equations to represent each situation.